What if I told you that right there inside your own kitchen, sitting on a shelf or in a cabinet you open every single day, there is a poison you almost certainly consume without a second thought, believing with complete confidence that it is harmless? Something that drop by drop, meal after meal, day after day, is silently wearing down two of the hardest working and most loyal organs in your entire body. My name is Dr. Thomas Smith. I am a nephrologist, and for many years now, I have been watching the devastating consequences of this poison play out in the lives of my patients, particularly in adults who walk into my office only when the damage has already progressed far further than it ever needed to. Today, I'm going to break the silence, but I am not going to speak to you in medical jargon that nobody can understand. I am going to speak plainly and directly as if you were sitting across from me in a quiet consultation room. I am going to reveal the worst poison that is quietly attacking your kidneys without you even realizing it. And the most alarming part is that you most likely consumed some form of it this very morning. So please stay with me, because by the end of this video, you are going to understand exactly what this poison is, how it works, and most importantly, how to protect yourself from it before it is too late. Welcome, and thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day for the most valuable thing any of us truly possesses, which is our health. As a kidney specialist, my mission has never been simply to treat illness once it arrives. It has always been to prevent that illness from ever knocking on the door in the first place. And honestly, one of the hardest parts of my profession is watching wonderful, vibrant, loving people suffer from kidney damage that could have been entirely avoided if they had only known what to watch out for. The deep, frustrating problem with kidneys is that they are masters of silence. They are the unsung heroes of the human body. Imagine having the most advanced water purifying system in the world running inside you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, without ever taking a single break. That is what your kidneys are doing right now as you listen to my voice. They filter every drop of your blood, removing toxins, metabolic waste, and excess fluids that your body does not need. But that is only the beginning of what they do. They also regulate your blood pressure, they help produce red blood cells so that you do not become anemic and exhausted, and they keep your bones strong and your minerals in balance. They are the quiet foundation upon which almost everything else in your body depends. But what happens when this remarkable system begins to fail? There is no alarm bell. There is no sharp pain warning you that something has gone wrong. Chronic kidney disease is a thief in the night. It creeps in slowly across months and years, and by the time the clear symptoms finally appear, swollen ankles, bone-deep exhaustion that sleep cannot fix, painful cramps, changes in how often you urinate, the damage is often severe and sometimes irreversible. I have lost count of the number of older adults who have arrived in my office frightened, confused, and facing the prospect of dialysis or even a transplant. And the question that always lingers in the air between us is the same heartbreaking one. Doctor, how did I not notice? The answer is painful, because no one had ever warned them clearly enough about the everyday poisons that were quietly sabotaging their health. That is exactly why I am here today. I want to give you the power of real information. Before we dive into the list, it is crucial that you understand why, as we grow older, we become far more vulnerable to these poisons than we were in our younger years. Age simply changes the rules of the game. Just as we lose some sharpness in our vision or notice a few more gray hairs in the mirror, our kidneys also age. Their filtering capacity, what doctors call the glomerular filtration rate, slowly declines with each passing decade of life. Think of it like the engine of a high-mileage car. It still runs, of course it does, but it no longer has the same raw power and resilience it had when it rolled off the factory floor. Now imagine pouring poor-quality fuel into that veteran engine and then forcing it to climb steep hills every single day without rest. What do you think will eventually happen? Exactly. It will break down far sooner than it ever needed to. And that is precisely what so many of us unknowingly do to our kidneys across decades of living, exposing them to substances and habits that seemed harmless in our youth, but leave tiny scars that accumulate quietly over time. It is this cumulative effect that eventually opens the door to kidney failure. On top of this, as the years pass, it becomes easier for high blood pressure and type 2 diabetes to appear. I want to be very clear about this, because it matters enormously. These two conditions are the leading causes of chronic kidney disease worldwide. They are like heavy hammers striking the delicate internal structure of your kidneys without pause, day after day, year after year. That is why anything in your daily life that contributes to or worsens diabetes and high blood pressure is a direct personal attack on your kidney health. Today, we are going to put names and faces to these hidden attackers. I have prepared a list of 4 of these poisons, and we are going to start with one that you neither eat nor drink, yet is just as harmful as those you do. Then we will work our way up to number 1, the one that is without any doubt the most dangerous, the most addictive, and the most widespread of them all, the real wolf in sheep's clothing. Let us begin. Poison number 4 is sedentary behavior, the stagnant water that quietly suffocates your kidneys. This first poison on our list might genuinely surprise you, because it is not something you eat or drink at all. It is something you fail to do. I am talking about being sedentary, the simple and deeply modern lack of movement, the hours upon hours spent sitting in chairs, on couches, in cars, watching television, or staring at screens. You might ask me, but doctor, what in the world does sitting have to do with my kidneys? The honest answer is everything. Your kidneys depend on strong, vigorous, healthy blood flow in order to perform their work properly. Imagine a powerful flowing river. The water rushes along with force, carrying leaves and debris downstream, staying oxygenated and clean the whole way. Now imagine a stagnant puddle in a forgotten corner. Mud settles at the bottom. Everything rots. The water becomes murky and toxic. Your circulatory system is that river, and when you move, when you walk, when you rise from a chair, your heart pumps with vigor, and blood flows energetically through your entire body, reaching the millions of microscopic filters inside your kidneys and giving them the power to cleanse your system optimally. But when you sit for hours on end without interruption, everything inside you slows down. Your blood flow becomes lazy, like water in a puddle, and that sluggishness opens the perfect gateway for the true enemies of your kidneys, obesity, high blood pressure, and type 2 diabetes. When you do not move, your body struggles to use blood sugar properly, which eventually leads to insulin resistance and the slow birth of diabetes. Inactivity also encourages weight gain, which forces your heart to work harder and pushes your blood pressure upward. Every extra pound is an additional burden on your kidneys. The solution here is movement, and please do not panic. You do not need to become an Olympic athlete by the end of this week. The solution is much simpler and well within reach for almost everyone watching. Break up long periods of sitting. If you spend a lot of time seated, the first step is simply to stand up on a regular schedule. Set an alarm on your phone every hour to remind yourself. Stand up, walk around your home, pour a glass of water, stretch your arms above your head. That simple act alone reactivates your circulation. The next step is incorporating a gentle daily walk. It does not need to be a marathon. Start with 10 minutes around the block, then 15 minutes the following week. The secret ingredient is consistency, not intensity. Walking is one of the finest exercises that exists. It is good for the heart, it controls blood sugar, it strengthens the bones, and of course it sends healthy, oxygenated blood flowing to your kidneys. If you have mobility issues, there are wonderful chair exercises you can perform. Moving your arms, lifting your legs, rotating your ankles at the joint, every small movement genuinely helps. Remember the river analogy. Every single step you take is another wave of clean water rushing through your kidneys. Poison number 3 is the quiet deception of so-called harmless painkillers. Now we arrive at a poison that hides in plain sight inside almost every home medicine cabinet in the country. It is that little pill you swallow without a second thought when you have a headache, back pain, or the stiffness of arthritis. I am talking about non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, also known as NSAIDs. Names like ibuprofen, naproxen, or diclofenac are familiar to almost everyone. Millions of people use them regularly, assuming that because they are sold over the counter, they must be completely safe. And therein lies the great deception. While these medications are genuinely effective for pain relief, chronic or frequent use, or use at high doses, can be devastating to the kidneys, especially in adults over 50. Here is a simple explanation of why. In order to maintain strong blood flow into your kidneys, your body relies on natural substances called prostaglandins, which keep the tiny renal arteries open and relaxed. The problem is that NSAIDs block exactly those prostaglandins throughout the body in order to reduce your pain, but they do not discriminate about which ones they block. They also shut down the protective prostaglandins inside your kidneys. The result is that the arteries feeding your kidneys constrict and narrow, and the blood and oxygen reaching them drops dramatically. It is exactly like stepping on the garden hose that waters a cherished plant. The water does not reach it, and slowly the plant begins to wither. The same process happens inside your kidneys, but the truly dangerous part is how silent this damage is. Taking these pills every single day for chronic pain, such as arthritis, is like stepping on that hose and releasing it again and again, day after day, year after year. Over time, the kidney filters become damaged, they scar, they stop functioning properly, and the process gives you almost no warning symptoms until it is already too late to easily reverse. The solution is to respect both the pain and the pill. What should you do? Ignore your pain? Of course not. Quality of life matters enormously. The solution is to be smart and, above all, to speak with a professional. First, please never self-medicate with NSAIDs on a chronic basis. If pain lasts more than a few days, the answer is not to keep reaching for more pills. It is to see a doctor and figure out why the pain is there in the first place. The goal is not to silence the alarm, it is to find and put out the fire. Second, be completely honest with your doctor about everything you take, including vitamins, herbal remedies, and over-the-counter medications. Many cold, flu, and sleep remedies contain hidden NSAIDs tucked inside their formulas. Third, explore alternatives for occasional pain. Acetaminophen, also known as paracetamol, is generally safer for the kidneys when taken at the correct dose. Look into non-pill options as well. Physical therapy, heat therapy, cold therapy, stretching routines, and gentle yoga can work genuine wonders and reduce your dependence on painkillers. Poison number 2 is salt, the invisible enemy hiding inside your food. Now we move to the poison that is perhaps the most underestimated of them all. It sits in every kitchen in the world, and I am talking specifically about salt, or more precisely about sodium. Many of my patients tell me, but doctor, I barely even touch the salt shaker. That is the big misunderstanding. The problem is not the salt you add to your plate at the table. The problem is the enormous quantity of hidden sodium lurking inside processed foods. It is estimated that over 75% of the sodium we consume comes from packaged and processed foods, not from the salt shaker. It is in bread, in deli meats, in cheeses, in canned soups, in bottled sauces, in frozen dinners, in almost anything that comes sealed in a plastic bag or a cardboard box. The food industry uses it to preserve products and to make them taste better. It is a truly invisible aggressor. Why is it so harmful? Your body genuinely needs a small amount of sodium in order to function properly. But when you flood the system with far more than it requires, the delicate balance breaks down. In order to dilute all that sodium, your body retains extra fluids, makes you feel thirsty, and instructs the kidneys not to release a drop of water. The result is that the blood volume inside your arteries rises, and the pressure inside those arteries shoots up. That, in plain language, is high blood pressure. And high blood pressure is the second leading cause of kidney failure. Your kidney filters are a delicate network of tiny, fragile vessels. Imagine trying to clean a piece of fine silk fabric with a fire hose turned on at full pressure. You would completely destroy it. That is exactly what hypertension does to your kidneys, day after relentless day, scarring them, damaging them, and gradually destroying them in a vicious and accelerating cycle. The solution is to become a label detective. Protecting yourself from this poison requires a genuine mindset shift. It is not about eating bland, joyless food. It is about eating smarter, more aware, more intentional food. The most powerful tool you have is learning to read the nutrition labels on everything you bring into your home. Turn the package over, look at the label, and find the word sodium. You will be shocked at how much sodium sits inside foods that do not even taste salty at all, like certain cereals, crackers, and cookies. General guidance suggests keeping daily sodium intake below around 2,300 milligrams, and even lower if you already have high blood pressure. Cook more meals at home where you are the one holding the salt shaker. Rediscover the natural flavors that nature has given us. Garlic, onion, pepper, oregano, rosemary, turmeric, cumin, paprika. Lemon juice and vinegar are also fantastic tools for adding brightness and flavor without a single grain of added sodium. One last small trick. If you buy canned beans or vegetables, rinse them thoroughly under running water for about 30 seconds. That simple step washes away a meaningful portion of the added sodium. Within just a few weeks of eating this way, your taste buds will reset themselves and you will begin to notice the true, beautiful flavors of real food. It is genuinely liberating. And now we come to the worst poison of all: sugar and refined flour, the deadly sweet duo. We have talked about sedentary behavior, about painkillers, about salt, all of them formidable enemies in their own right. But now I present to you what I consider, without hesitation, poison number one, the undisputed champion of silent destruction, the most addictive, the most pervasive in our modern diet, and the one that causes the most devastating damage over time. This poison is not some obscure chemical locked away in a laboratory. It is something we associate with celebrations, with rewards, with childhood memories, with affection. I am talking about sugar and its inseparable partner, refined flour. Yes, that sweet white powder, the desserts, the soft drinks, and also the white bread, the white pasta, the cookies, the pastries. In my years of clinical experience, this duo is the number one reason why diabetes has become the leading cause of kidney failure around the world. Why am I so blunt about this? Because sugar and refined flour, which your body converts into sugar within minutes of eating it, do not simply launch a single attack against your kidneys. They launch a massive coordinated assault from multiple different fronts simultaneously. The first front is the direct highway to diabetes. Excessive consumption of sugar and refined flour is the main culprit behind type 2 diabetes. When you eat them, they trigger a tsunami of glucose flooding into your bloodstream. Your pancreas goes into overdrive, pumping out insulin to try to bring the chaos under control. If this pattern repeats day after day, your cells gradually stop responding to the insulin, and the sugar just sits there in your blood. That is how type 2 diabetes is born. Once blood sugar stays chronically elevated, the damage done to your kidneys is brutal. Sugar literally caramelizes the delicate kidney filters, making them stiff and brittle, destroying their function. This is called diabetic nephropathy, and it is the fastest path to dialysis that I see in my practice. The second front of attack is high blood pressure. We used to believe salt was the only real driver of high blood pressure, but today we know that a diet rich in sugar is just as damaging, and in some cases even worse. So even if you carefully control your salt intake, sugar will continue to strike your kidneys from behind. The third front is silent chronic inflammation. Sugar is fire inside your body. It creates a low-grade, constant inflammatory state that damages the inner lining of every artery you have, including the microscopic ones inside your kidneys. The fourth front is obesity and fatty liver disease. Any excess sugar that is not immediately burned for energy is converted into fat. That fat accumulates, leading to obesity, which is another major risk factor for kidney disease, and it also deposits inside the liver itself, causing fatty liver, which disrupts your entire metabolism and harms your kidneys through a separate pathway. As you can see, this is not a single attack. This is a total assault, and that is precisely why I call it poison number one. The solution is to take back control. The good news, the truly hopeful news, is that we can absolutely fight back against this enemy. Knowledge is the key that unlocks everything. First, understand that sugar travels under many different names on ingredient labels. High fructose corn syrup, dextrose, sucrose, maltose, cane juice, agave nectar. They are all disguises worn by the same underlying poison. Second, eliminate the most obvious and concentrated sources: sugary drinks, sodas, industrial fruit juices, sweetened teas. They are essentially liquid sugar. A single can of soda can contain more than 10 teaspoons of sugar. Replace them with plain water, sparkling water with a squeeze of lemon, or unsweetened herbal infusions. This single change may be the most powerful one you ever make for your kidneys. Third, be wary of low-fat products, because very often the fat has been removed and replaced with sugar to preserve the taste. Always choose the natural, full version. Plain yogurt instead of fruit-flavored yogurt, and add fresh fruit yourself. Fourth, swap white flour for true whole grains. Real whole grain bread, brown rice, old-fashioned rolled oats. The fiber slows sugar absorption and keeps you fuller longer. And finally, build your meals around real, unprocessed food. Fruits, vegetables, legumes, meat, fish, eggs, nuts, seeds. When your diet rests on this kind of foundation, sugar and refined flour almost magically disappear from your life on their own. We have traveled an important journey together today. We have unmasked 4 silent poisons that threaten your kidneys. Number 4, sedentary behavior that stagnates your circulation. Number 3, painkillers that can silently strangle your kidneys. Number 2, the hidden salt that quietly spikes your blood pressure. And number 1, sugar and refined flour launching a full-scale, multi-front attack on your entire body. You might feel a little overwhelmed right now, and that is completely understandable. But my goal here is not to frighten you. My goal is to empower you. The truth, even when it is uncomfortable, is the only thing that gives us the power to make better choices going forward. Kidney disease does not have to be your destiny. Each of these poisons sits within your control. You decide whether to stand up from the chair. You decide whether to see a doctor about ongoing pain instead of silencing it with pills. You decide whether to turn the package over and read the label. You decide whether to choose a glass of water instead of a can of soda. It is not about transforming everything overnight. It is about taking one small step today and another tomorrow and another the day after that. Every small change is a genuine victory. Every home-cooked meal, every walk around the block, every label you read carefully is another brick in the wall that protects your kidneys for the years ahead. You have the power to rewrite your own health story. If this video has opened your eyes or given you something real to think about, I ask you to do one truly important thing. Share it. Send it to your children, your partner, your neighbor, a lifelong friend. Life-saving information must circulate. And if you would like to keep receiving clear, practical, trustworthy advice to protect your health, please subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you do not miss a single video. Leave a comment below and tell me what surprised you the most from everything we discussed today. Is there something you did not know before that you plan to change starting tonight? I read every comment. Thank you for spending this time with me. Your kidneys work tirelessly for you every single second of your life. Return the favor with conscious choices. This is Dr. Thomas Smith. I sincerely wish you a long, healthy, and energetic life ahead. Take care of your kidneys. Take care of your life. I will see you in the next one.